I love manga coloring. I find it so very cathartic. And if I could do it more, I would love to. But for now, it's just a hobby. For most of us, it's a hobby, and it's something we take pride in, as with anything someone spends time doing. So that's why, on the 6th of April, which is just over a month ago as of time of recording, the internet was rocked over one such colouring and its response. Of course, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the colorist Atsu, who posted to Twitter a colouring of a manga called Prisoner Riku. All credit to Atsu here. I think it looks good, it follows the original panel quite well. I love the colouring on the eyes. Unfortunately, the original mangaka did not think so, and they had this to say about it, translated of course. "This is a line drawing I drew, so please delete it. This is because people look at this picture may mistake it for me to have coloured it. This colouring has no ingenuity or sense, and the image is completely different. This is different from fan art, where someone saw my drawing, drew it from a line drawing, coloured it." Now I will give one good thing about this statement. Yes, manga colouring is different to fan art, however I still think it should stand as a testament to fan work. On the whole, I believe manga colorists do not wish to replace the original work, or even necessarily claim it's their own, but instead it should be a celebration of the original work while adding their own skill set into it. This brings me to the main point about being a colorist, be it a hobby or in a professional manner. It is a skill that people should and need to work on. Manga panels are an amazing place for practice. It's already got shading blocked in, since it's a style that doesn't usually have colour, so it's crafted around the black and white medium. Adding colour on top is therefore a lot easier to practice with. Personally, I began colouring back in December of 2020, and it was very basic, and it's not all that good. I wouldn't even say I'm that good now, but it's definitely a lot better than what I had 3.5 years ago. It's why I'm so passionate about this issue. It's something that I love doing, and it makes me able to put a mark on things I like and say, this is how much I like it. I used to make AMVs. I'm making videos now. I've got a few in the pipeline, all around things that I love, because that's how much I like it. I can't draw, I can write somewhat, but I can colour. It's a way for people who aren't able to make their own things, their own fan art, interact with the work that they love. And that's why I love doing this. Now, this Discord probably only lasted about 24 hours. It was mainly just this manga artist, a bunch of people on his side, and a bunch of people on Atsu's side. Now, there was a second individual who was probably as big as the original author, who had an impact on fanning the flames of this, and this was Yazzie. Now, you may know Yazzie as a YouTuber, she's a streamer, she is also married to Mother's Basement, but she also does kind of get into a lot of beef on Twitter, and I'm not here to rag on her for that. You can be a controversial figure all you want, I don't mind. But it's her comment on this issue that really riled me up when I read it. Her main comment essentially just said, well, all you do is use the filter. Now I've got a screen recording in the background, and this is a colouring I did recently. You can actually go and find the date it was uploaded to my Twitter. That's when I did it. There's a lot of fill bucket here. But I don't necessarily have a problem with using the fill tool as a tool. It saves a lot of time when blocking things out, so it's great for when you're doing things like flats or some hard shading. You can even use it for, like I use it, I do some hard shading and then I blur it out so it becomes slightly softer and there's not that hard edge to it. It really depends on what kind of manga I'm shading. For the one in the background, Gokuraki Guy, it's absolutely fine to have a bit softer shading on that. But the thing I colour most, Dog and Scum, that's a lot harsher shading. I would actually say that most of the genuinely great colorists, and even the one she actually replied to, probably don't use it that much. Now obviously, as I said, flats, I 100% believe that a majority of people would probably use the fill bucket at some point to block in colours. But there are some fantastic people who are so technical and truly make the piece their own. These are artists like Hexa Mendel, Azure and Ryan Ash. All three fantastic at making the piece their own, and you can clearly see that it would have taken forever to do some soft shading. It's really impressive work. It also kind of goes into a theory that I've had for a while where I can categorize manga colorists into two camps. These are actualizers or enhancers. Now actualizers are like me, where we just kind of color the page how you expect it would be colored if you were to throw color onto it like a Western comic or a webtoon, and that's kind of how we do it. It's very much following the shape of the shading, the original colors the artists have done. However, it's the enhancers that really help in this community. They truly elevate the original piece. They take that original work that was done and they make it something so beautiful that it's a combination of both fan and original creation. But genuinely, at the end of this video, why did I decide to make my first YouTube video on a new account, responding to what is essentially a month-old controversy that didn't even last that long? It's not like it's pervaded into the pop culture sphere and has created an actual conversation around manga colorists. Well, I have a lot of respect for professional colorers, and whilst yes, they do get paid to color that, and the art is made for them to be colored, you can't just drop someone into a creative job like this. You have to train. Some of my favorite colors are on the Power Rangers books, and I really think that if the colorers in that book weren't as good, that work would be nowhere near as good looking as it is. It really is all about those final colors that come in. Don't get me wrong, the art is fantastic, the inking and penciling, great, but those colors, man, they just pop. Now, I have practiced different coloring styles. I've tried to base mine off the artist's official work, because colorings should be a real expression of your love for that work. There are official colorings for Dragon Ball and JoJo's, and whilst there are mistakes in that, mainly in the JoJo's, you can actually feel how much everyone wanted to be a part of that project. There's so much love that has gone into deciding what colours go where. And then just the love some people put into their work truly shows. It is genuinely beautiful to know how much time it takes to colour one page, never mind multiple, and to see people put out such good work so quickly after chapters come out is so clear that it's someone who genuinely loves every second they spend on that. To simply discredit someone's colouring because it makes your work look bad is short-sighted. First off, I don't think the colouring makes the work look bad. Obviously, if the original artist does, that's his prerogative. That's something that he has to deal with. It may feel like stealing, and obviously Japan has a lot stricter copyright laws than we do here. But not only was that person showing their appreciation for his work in one of the only ways they probably could, they clearly want the manga to be seen by more people. To colour a work and to post it online inherently will breed people asking what it's from, or in general, just getting more eyes on the work. Yes, people may be disappointed when a colouring looks bad of something that they like. That's fine, but it's not going to turn a fan away from the work. The only thing that will get people to read it is seeing it. And if you don't allow people to promote your work in whatever way they want, how on earth will people know? I truly believe that one of the greatest compliments you can have as a creative is to have fan work, to have people write in to people to compliment you, to have something so good that it makes people be creative, to spend hours trying to do something to show you how much they love your work. And yes, there could be points where that work is derivative of your own. Let's not forget that people can love a book so much they just rip it off. People can rip off your art style because they like it. People can use your work and colour over the top of it like it's a colouring book. But truly, to have someone spend that much time, dedicate themselves to have other people look at your work, that should be warming to you. That should not inspire hate. That is why manga colouring matters.